Great. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Marshfield School Committee meeting on Tuesday, September 13th. Ms. Pazerski, if you could please call the roll.
Ms. Boyd? Here. Mr. Greer?
Here.
Mr. Costello?
Here.
Ms. Reed? Ms. Sims?
Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Please also join me in the Peace Builders Pledge. I am a peace builder. I pledge to praise people, to give up put-downs, to seek wise people, to notice and speak up about hurts I've caused, to right wrongs, to help others. I will build peace at home, at school, and in my community each day. Under the open meeting law, informing the public that this meeting is being videotaped by Marshfield Community Television. If anybody is taping this meeting, either audio or video, please notify us of such at this time. Seeing none, I'm going to move a couple things around on the agenda. I understand our student representatives have a couple things they need to attend to tonight, so I'm going to recognize you first.
Monday through Thursday weekly. Our last after-school help program at the Marshfield High School is held in the library, and that starts yesterday, and we are weekly Monday through Thursday from 2 to 4. On Friday, the 16th, seniors are encouraged to show their class spirit and wear their class of 2023 t-shirt to school. And for the Friday night home football game, they declared a whiteout, so wear your white clothes to show your spirit.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
I would like to add that. And some of the schools are going to be doing some fundraising along with that. So
thank you very much. All right, we'll move into the informational session. We'll recognize you first, Superintendent Granatino.
yeah, I'm going to be having a brief intro regarding the first couple weeks of school during the regular. So just as far as new information, I just want to give a promotional call out to the Wall of Honor. We're going to be having our third class inducted into the Wall of Honor. It's actually the class of 2020, which we could not have over the last few years during COVID. And the event is going to be taking place next Thursday, the 22nd, for ads. And we're going to be recognizing Carol for 12 years, Fred Pobleski, teacher and coach at the high school, who spent over 30 years working with students in Marshfield, and Ms. Jean Moriarty, who was a teacher and assistant principal at Daniel Webster, also 30 plus years of education. So they'll be honored that evening, and we're really excited for it. And tickets are available. Those that are out there that would like to come and give this support to this event, on the main page of our website, you can hit a link and get the tickets right there. And I believe, can we get them at the window? We can't get them at the door because they need to have a head count beforehand. So I think they can be purchased up through the end of this week.
Awesome.
Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Dr. Martin.
I won't steal Mr. Granatino's thunder on the first beginning days of school, just that they went very well. Lots of smiling faces. Lots of PD going on, but we have an agenda item, so I will hold off for that.
Great. Thank you. Ms. Scalaro.
Breaking it. Just to update you, I haven't seen you. I wasn't able to attend the school committee in the summer, so it was a busy summer, and it's been a great start to the school year. We did run a successful ESY program for students in preschool to 20.
Ms. Clark, you may want to move the mic a little closer, just so we can hear. Yeah.
We had some feedback.
Sorry. Okay. All right, so I was just saying it was a busy summer, and it's been a great start to the school year. We had a successful ESY program for students in preschool through 22. So we ran programs for both full-day students, and we had a strong tutorial program during the summer, which was great. Over the summer, we We hired for 2 key positions for people who had retired, so Nurse Landry and Mary Bradshaw, and I'm very happy to let you know that we did hire a new nurse director, Colleen Gadles, and a new director of ESL, Michelle McElwain, and I'm working with Superintendent Granatino to have them attend an upcoming school committee meeting so that you can meet them.
Awesome.
Other than that, we've just been working with schools to make sure that all students have everything they need to have a great start to the school year, and I have been working closely with Dr. Martin and Amy McAlpine to ensure that special education teachers, related service providers, and support staff are included in their unbelievable professional development plan they have for the school year. So that's all.
Thank you very much. The man who needs no microphone, Mr. Miller.
We'll test that. Actually, don't have a major update, any major updates, but just the start of school. The annual making the buses work. It's always a struggle, but we're getting there, and we have some good reports from a couple of the schools that were having some issues today. So I think everything's starting to get settled in there, and we're wrapping up the summer projects. At Governor Winslow, the paving and the South River front entrance. So a lot of work done this summer, and getting on with the school year.
Great. Thank you very much. Any subcommittee reports at this time? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move forward to the point of the meeting for public participation. If anybody in the public would like to address the committee, now is the time to step forward and do so. Okay. Seeing none, we've already done the student representative report, and I've been informed that Ms. Marples, the president of the MEA, is not able to join us tonight for her update. So we're going to move some things on the agenda around. I want to make sure folks know the minutes. Because we don't have a couple of committee members here tonight, we can't move forward with some of the minutes. So we'll just push those to the next meeting. We have 4 sets of minutes there from 2 different meetings. We're going to move into, and I know we have Ms. McAlpine here, and we're going to move you forward in the agenda, Ms. McAlpine, with Dr. Martin to address us for the professional development overview. So the floor is yours. If you have anything to add to that, Mr. Green.
No, you hit it on the head. Do you want us on this?
Do you want to take a microphone?
Can I take a microphone?
Yeah, oh yeah. You can go,
So-
do whatever you like.
I can kind of start us off. So Amy McAlpine moved into the role of Director of Professional and Online Learning over the summer. And I just said to her this morning, I don't know what we did before she so over the summer, we decided, actually last spring, Amy was part of the PD committee, and we had decided to offer a little bit more choice and voice to our teachers for PD, just because we're asking our teachers to do that for our students and do some design and offer some choices in how they get content and how they show us what they learned. And so we started this already last spring, and it became a very big undertaking, bigger than I think any of us thought. We have so many people in different roles that need different professional development. So I'm going to turn it over to Amy. She can show the spreadsheet that was the beginning of all this planning. It's colorful with your head will probably spin a little bit. And then what she actually was able to turn that into to make this a lot more accessible to teachers and a lot more accessible to our principals, so they know what everybody at their building is doing on those Wednesdays. And also we've, offering some things after school. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Okay. So this is I guess, our brain dump and our starting point for looking at all of the professionals in the district. So this is actually just our elementary folks. And so if we looked at the opportunities for PD for them during the year and the different roles they held, we started to map out what would this look like for each role. And then subsequently, on the other tabs, we have the middle school with just as many columns and the high school. So we really wanted to model what it would look like if we're taking different roles into consideration and what their needs were, because as Dr. Martin said, that's what we're asking teachers to do in the classroom. So we created from that a resource which is accessible off of the website. If you go to the curriculum and instruction page, you can get to this professional development page. And we have made it our one-stop shopping for the educators in our district to find everything they need about PD. So starting at the top with the high-level overview of these are the days during the year that we have PD, so you can plan accordingly for that, down to each level from elementary to middle school to high school. And so each grade level has, I'll just share one to give you a sense, an overview. So we were really trying to highlight that this is my PD in the sense that it is meant for individuals as professionals to meet their needs. So we wanted to highlight that all of our offerings are tied to the school mission and philosophy, as well as the strategic plan that's in place. So people were seeing direct connections between what was being offered and where we're headed as a district. From there, we broke it down to people's roles, and this provides just a snapshot of what it would look like for people. So elementary classroom teachers this year, we have some new math curriculum. We're fortunate to have some coaches, so there's job embedded PD, there's grade level meeting time during the day, but then there's also Wednesday PD, where they'll be focusing on math and connecting it to UDL, which was a big focus last year, so building on that. And again, you'll see spaces here for goals to indicate how do these tie to their professional practice as well. So we're trying to make all those connections really clear and help us stay focused in what we're offering and supporting. And I won't go through all these slides, but you can see here we talk about just different levels of professional development. So they're what people think of as a typical session you go to, which is more of maybe a workshop. But then there's also coaching, and then there is some optional work outside of what everyone is being offered as a base level. So thinking about people's certification and what they need to recertify in terms of having some effective schooling PDPs, having some English language learner background. So these will be offered in addition to the Wednesdays as well. So just to highlight, and again, I won't share all of them, but you can see that our administrators at the elementary level have a master plan so they know where all the people in their building are going and can also help them jump in and out to be a part of those experiences, to see what their staff is doing on any given day. And then here, we wanted to make sure that everyone in their role had access from September so they could plan accordingly for what they would be doing through June. So there are tabs across the top for each month, and then along the side, pertinent information about their PDPs, so where they find them, where they earn them, how they track them, all that kind of information. And I'll just share. So you can see one snapshot. You can go week to week, and teachers are able to see what's happening on a given Wednesday, what might be a job embedded PD, which is under the notes. So during a given week, they're going to meet with the math coaches to plan for this new curriculum. Another thing is they're going to be introduced to an assessment piece tied to math, and that's a PLC meeting. So they can kind of look and see, okay, I've got this chunk of time in an afternoon where I'm engaging in some PD, but then I also have these other small pockets that are going to happen during the week. So we're trying to just be transparent and be focused and thorough in providing everyone exactly what they need. Did I leave anything?
I think so. I think the other thing that you'll notice is all of the blue text are the actual links. So teachers don't have to go back to an email if there's a Zoom meeting or if there's a live session or if there's a Canvas study. They actually can just click right in this calendar and it will take them directly to that, which is huge because people sometimes get lost in their emails and they can't find the Zoom link and they're emailing at the last minute. So the other piece of this is a lot of things have been built in Canvas as well. So Amy assisted the elementary math coaches in creating a Canvas course for everything that has to do with the curriculum. So all the training materials, all of the resources that we have, everything is right in one spot. So this is where teachers go to for all of the kind of the pieces after they would do a live session. There are resources here. There's the reflection pieces. There's the feedback forms. Everything is right here. So it's just a much better way of organizing, and we've gotten some tremendous feedback, and we're tweaking as we go. Amy's first to like say, oh, I think it would be better if we did it this way. Just this morning, she tweaked something and made a Canvas course for the elementary principals to help them keep track of all the updates that are coming from literacy and math. And it's just been she's been a fantastic addition in this new role. So, and she has done one of those calendars for literally every department, every level in the district. It's pretty amazing. If you see all of those links, those are all to individualized calendars for every single department, because everybody's doing something a little bit different this year. So, is there anything to add? Okay. So any questions or?
Questions or comments from the committee? Go ahead, Ms. Boyd.
Can you just give some highlights of some of the professional development that teachers will receive this year?
Sure. So elementary, like we said, a lot of the math will be, maybe we want to show some of the RSP, the related service providers, and the special education. So related service providers are working with Kristen Jacobson, so she is kind of a counterpart of your award on executive functioning. So they have 7 different sessions throughout the year, and then in between sessions, they will have some reflection time and how they're implementing what they learn into practice. Again, those vary. Kind of we had a live Zoom meeting, and then every couple of times she's going to come in person, and then they're going to have some time to reflect, and then she's going to do a Zoom, and then she's going to come in person. So it's kind of that rotating. So they're sticking with one topic for the year rather than having a one-and-done workshop, which we know doesn't work. So that's one thing. Another is special education is working on specially designed instruction. Some of our in-house people are helping to coordinate some of the special education sessions, and also Lisa Diker from the University of Florida is going to do a couple of sessions with our folks around designing special design instruction. Middle and high school curriculum work is happening, so middle school adopted an open sci-ed curriculum, so a lot of their afternoons are going to be spent with open sci-ed coaches and doing some training. Middle school math is doing a lot of math because they also got a new math curriculum, so they are working with a consultant from the Looney Consulting Group, and also with illustrative math trainers on separate days. So they're kind of going back and forth with coaching and with some training. What else do you want to highlight, Amy?
So just,
the book studies.
Book
Yeah.
studies. So
Yeah.
we're fortunate to have a variety of books. This is just the art of coaching. So some of our literacy specialists, instructional technology specialists, we're trying to support their role to move into a little bit more of a coaching capacity. So there are book studies that are organized, and what's kind of neat is, again, we're using Canvas, we use it with the kids, we're really maximizing its potential for professional development. And so we've got the structure set up here, and then we've got a couple of different book studies going, but all the resources are here, and the opportunities for online discussions, so groups can collaborate together, even if they're not meeting together. There's the opportunity to have face-to-face discussion, online discussion, and we've got a number of these set up, as well as some PLCs. But as Dr. Martin mentioned, they all tie back to providing some resources, providing some virtual and in-person space for people to collaborate and think and share, practice, and then be able to go back in the classroom.
And there's a lot of scaffolding. So the book studies, for the most part, some of them are built. So read this chapter, let's discuss. But other ones, like the art of coaching, the two different groups actually are developing their own plan. So there's agendas. So Amy has agenda templates, building norms, all of those kinds of things, so that they're kind of running this book group as a PLC. High school will also, and middle school, will be doing PLCs around different topics. UDL is one of them, so they have choices of either book studies or running their own PLC to dive into some of the resources that we got last year. So there's just kind of a myriad of, there's one of the agendas for one of the book studies. So innovating inside the box, we actually have run this in the past after school with some teachers and had some fabulous feedback. So this is an opportunity for anyone who couldn't participate before to do this during the PLC time and during some of their PDF. Anything else? That's it.
Any other questions, comments? Yeah, very thorough, and obviously appreciate it. I don't know, Ms. McAlpine, if you've been in to a school committee meeting in the last couple of years, but just take the opportunity, I'll just take the opportunity now that you're here to say, we know you've had a really interesting few years with everything that you've done to get us through the tough times that we experienced, so we just want to say thank you. I appreciate that. And appreciate all of this is a very thorough presentation, and appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. No, I echo your comments and the work that Ms. McAlpine does, along with Dr. Martin and other building leaders across the district. It's really made a difference, and we're hopeful that it's going to be a real productive year in the PD front with her in this new role, and really able to roll out a lot of options that mean something to the teachers, which is important.
Right. Awesome. Well, yeah, go ahead, Mr. Greer. Yep. No worries. Yep.
That's a great question. Part of using Canvas enables us to do that. So when teachers are given Canvas, we're calling them companion courses for a lot of what they're doing. So they're enrolled, and then we're able to view their progress. So what you were seeing up there were modules. We're able to view module progress to see, are people engaging with the content? Are they finishing that content? And then as a second layer, we ask for feedback and sign-in. So we have digital forms for teachers after every session to indicate the date, some essential questions that we ask. So it lets us know, again, who participated, who's engaging, what feedback do they have, and then if we're not seeing somebody, it gives us the opportunity to connect and say, hey, we noticed we're not seeing you.
That gives me another question. Sorry to be so after the fact, but so do we have any way to measure the success of each individual module, right, so that we can continually improve upon what we offer for professional development?
So a big part of, you saw the goals were listed there. What we're trying to make sure that we're doing is aligning the professional development with the professional practice and student practice goals that teachers are setting, which is then part of the evaluation process of teachers. So we're trying to tie it to what they're being evaluated on, so that if they're saying, I'm integrating a certain UDL strategy as my goal, then their evaluator and their supervisor can see that and know that that's what they're looking for, and that the action step of participating in this professional development is helping them achieve that, or maybe they need more work on that. So we're trying to tie that cycle together.
Okay.
So an example of that would be when we were in one of the schools earlier this week, Dr. Martin and I all often visit classrooms, and each of the elementary classrooms is having the number corner, correct, set up. It's part of the new math curriculum, and they're learning about it, they're establishing it in the rooms, and that's one of the things that when principals are going through and doing walkthroughs in the classroom, they're looking to see if that's up and how it's being implemented by the teachers. So it's kind of the new curriculum, and their goal for instructional practices are able to be measured more readily when the principals are coming in on their visits. So.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you again, Ms.
Thank you, Ms.
McAlpine. We
McAlpine.
appreciate it. Okay, we're going to move forward with the regular portion of the agenda. The first thing up is the school committee subcommittees and liaisons. This is very quick. We're keeping everything the same. I've decided that everybody seems to be fitting well in those assignments. The only difference is with the contract negotiations. Instead of myself and Mr. Greer, that will be Mr. Greer and Ms. Brait handling those. So with myself as kind of an alternate if one of them can't make the contract negotiations. So I'm going to go next to the superintendent's update on the opening of the school year. Mr. Granatino.
I will try not to be too chatty about it, but it was a really strong opening. I know Dr. Martin mentioned it early. It was nice to be able to start a school year with the focus being strictly on teaching and learning. Obviously, the last couple of years, we've been impacted by a number of things from outside the learning environment that we had to deal with, and we did. And I think we did the best we could under those circumstances. But to be able to focus on teaching and learning, seeing the students in the classroom with their peers, coming in with big smiles to get into the first day of school, seeing the little ones getting off the bus for the first time, seeing teachers come together that first day, just to kind of walk you through, those that don't know all the ins and outs of the opening week, that those 4 days before Labor Day, which many districts don't do, I think we're able to turn into a real positive time for our teachers and for our students. That first day, we get about 600 teachers and support staff together at the high school. They hear from a variety of speakers. We talk about some of the themes for the year, and then they're back in their buildings with their principals and or their department heads, and they're going over some of the administrative stuff that happens at the beginning of the year, but also, again, goals for the school year and those specific departments or those specific schools, and they're getting to know one another. We had over 50 new staff, not all 50 new teachers, but 50 new teachers along with support staff and other roles in the district. So just people getting to know each other a little bit. And then the second part of that day after lunch is just teachers being able to get their rooms established if they haven't already been coming in. Most come in many times over the summer to get their rooms ready, but they can put their finishing touches on, and especially at the elementary level, because that Monday night, what we started 2 years ago, was the meet and greet, where parents get to come in and see their students' classroom. Students get to come in and meet the teacher for the first time. Some of them might have already met them. They might have got emails. They might have had a Zoom interaction. But we know that night everyone has a chance to meet their teacher, see their school. For those that are new to a school at the elementary level, it's very nerve-wracking. And this meet and greet night really allays some of those concerns. And they get to see their buddies and see who's in their class and see where they're sitting. So when they come in that first day of school, they're not as antsy. And again, they're still antsy. I mean, I was at most of the schools, most of us were at all the schools on that Tuesday, and you saw some nervous students, probably saw more nervous parents than nervous students, those that were dropping off their youngsters for the first time. But that meet and greet night, I think, has been really useful, not only for the staff, but for the students and their parents. Obviously, grades 1 through 12 come in that Tuesday. We hold off until Wednesday for the kindergartners, but the kindergartner parents get to come in that Tuesday and see the school and meet with the principals and see how the buses work and whatnot, so that they're ready to go that Wednesday. The ninth graders at the high school kind of get the building for the day to themselves. Grades 10 through 12 after early morning, where they get to go to some of their classes, they get dismissed early, and this has been a tradition, I think, before I got here. This has been going on for about 15 years, I believe, at the high school, where they allow the freshmen to kind of get acclimated to the new building by themselves through the majority of the day, and they have their lunch in there, and they get to kind of learn the high school without seeing it full with 1,200 students. And then they're back to normal that Wednesday. Again, Wednesday comes with the kindergartners. This year we also had, Wednesday was that evening there was a town-wide event for the opioid awareness vigil that I was able to take part in and speak along with a few other town officials. The pre-K students, our youngest ones, they had their meet and greet set up on Wednesday as opposed to Tuesday, because for some of the preschoolers, they had a new home. The classrooms were moved from the Martinson. Those that were at the Martinson before are now at Ames Way. So those folks needed a little more time to get their rooms up and ready, and they met with their parents on Wednesday, and they started up with us on Tuesday after Labor Day, our preschool students at the Daniel Webster as well as the Ames Way. We get that 4-day weekend. So once they get a couple days under their belt, the students and the staff, they have that longer weekend, and then they come back after Labor Day refreshed and ready to go. And again, many of my peers in other districts, that's the time when they're doing all of their paperwork and getting their administrative stuff done. And we're able to delve into curriculum and instruction more readily right after Labor Day. The high school had their open house that Thursday night, which was probably one of the biggest crowds I think they've had there in many, many years, according to Principal Kuther. We also started that Wednesday after Labor Day with our Welcome Back Wednesday, which is part of our Start with Hello SEL-based program that we've done in the last couple of years. And it's where everyone gets welcomed as they come into all the buildings. It's obviously not the first day of school, but it's a day when we get out as many staff as possible in front of the building, along with our police and firefighters who join us. And that's always a big hit, especially for the little students. High schoolers and the middle schoolers maybe can't be as bothered as much with that, but they still enjoy it. I know the middle schoolers like it, and the elementary students love it, and they like to see the trucks and the police cars in front. So that was a great way to kick off the week there. We had our middle school open house just this past Monday, just last night, I guess, and that was another huge crowd, which was great. I was able to walk through and see that night in action, and it was real positive, a lot of positive energy around the building with families. I guess there was a big line out the door waiting to get in there at the beginning, so that was nice. The schools have been getting their morning meetings up and running at the elementary level. Trying to think of some of the other things. The PD that Dr. Martin had already alluded to is already hitting the ground running. We've had multiple sessions for staff on a variety of things, whether it's the new math, whether it's the new science at the middle school, and a lot of the other things that staff are able to take advantage of. This Friday, as you heard from our students, we have a Spirit Day across the district. So, the opening of school, it's not just getting back, into the classroom to learn, it's to socialize, to get, caught up with peers that they might not have seen in the past, or seen in a while. And again, you can just feel the tone of this year as the opening, a lot more positive, a lot more energetic, a lot more enthusiastic. The sports are up and running. You heard the drama club's already up and running at the middle school. There's a lot of different activities going on at all of the buildings, and it's great to see, and to be able to focus on that and stay away from some of the other stuff that bogged us down over the last couple of years. I want to thank the custodians for all the work that they did to get the buildings ready. Tom alluded to some of the safety opening foyers to the buildings at the elementary level. Some of them have been updated with new entrances that are double secured to give a little bit more safety to the buildings. We did that in conjunction with the police. We talked about that in previous meetings, but they're all almost finished. South River had the biggest project to do, and that's almost complete. So that's, and we updated a lot of our cameras in the buildings and added some cameras in the buildings that will allow for, again, greater security and safety around the buildings as we move forward. Trying to think of anything else that I might have left off. I think that's, well, the new website, another thing that's new for our students and for our families in particular, and for the staff, is the new website that we have. And Ms. Brzezinski, along with our IT director, Dave Cawthorn, worked tirelessly on this over the last 4 or 5 months at least. And it's really a nice change of pace. Our previous website was great, but was old. It was 7 or 8 years old, and in the world of the web, that's ancient. So we needed to make it a little bit more user-friendly, a little bit more applicable to today's needs, and I think it's done that. And you see that things are coming in a little differently when we send out mass emails to the district, and we're hoping that it will continue to be a positive way for us to communicate through a variety of different options within the website. So that's great, and as well as the app that is now available as well, and we're trying to push that out and get that information out to as many people, because most folks live on their phones, and the apps make things a lot easier. So we're trying to get that out there, and I know the high school just sent something out the other night via text, and it hit all but a handful of folks, and a lot quicker response, and it's a great way to communicate. So we'll keep that up. And I just want to thank everybody for a strong opening. These folks to my left here have worked tirelessly over the summer and to get the year ready. And our teachers have come in working hard, and most important, our students have come in and they've done a great job to kick off the school year. And love to see them in the classrooms. We've been out and about to most of the buildings already on our visits, and it's a lot of fun to see what's going on in the classroom. It's what we're here for. So it's nice to be able to focus on that.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Any questions, comments from the committee? No? But I want to just add our thanks as well to you, to everybody here, to all the staff, and to all the students, and to all the parents as well for a great start to the school year. This is always one of the best times of the year. I've had a chance to go to a couple of the schools as well, and it's always buzzing, and that's always a great feeling to see that education is back in Marshfield, and our kids are learning every day in our classrooms. So appreciate all that you folks have done. The next item on the agenda is the MHS School Improvement Plan. I'm going to table that, as I believe Principal Kuther couldn't make it tonight. So we'll table that, and we'll take that up at our next meeting. And again, I want to remind folks that our meeting minutes are also being tabled due to just missing a couple of members who couldn't make it for some personal reasons tonight. That is it for our agenda. Before we adjourn, I just want to note for folks to keep in their thoughts and prayers, a family in Marshfield unexpectedly lost their father. The Lavulo family lost their father, Mike, who was a father to 4, 3 of which are still in our schools. The Marshfield Public Schools are sending all of their thoughts and prayers to the Lavulo family, sending as much support and good thoughts as we can during such a difficult time. So please keep them in your thoughts. That being said, our next meeting is 2 weeks from today, Tuesday, September 27th, right here in this room. Be there or be square. Ms. Pazerski, this will be a motion to adjourn, if somebody would so moved. So moved. Is there a second? Second that. Thank you very much. That's a roll call then, Ms. Pazerski.
Ms. Boyd, Mr. Greer, Mr. Costello.
Yes. Thank you very much, folks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.